he's done with Enterprise Center has been spectacular. So thanks, Phyllis. The ARPA program was the funds that the county received from the American Rescue Plan. We received about $149 million. And so we took $10 million and we're putting it into economic development programs. So $5 million of that is for a small business assistance program, and then $5 million is for a rapid credentialing program. So I'll touch base on that just in case anyone's interested in that. It's for everything from healthcare to construction management, free tuition through FGCU, FSW, and the school board. So if you're interested in that program, want to know more about it, please let us know. But today, we were focusing on the small business assistance program. That and then my personal favorite are the DBEs. So I'll start with DBEs and finish with the small business. The Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program is something that's critical to the success of Lee County and Fort Myers. We have somewhere around $3 billion of capital construction that's going to occur over the next 5 years. $1.5 billion at the airport alone. And so we need as many electricians and plumbers and skilled trades firms as we can get our hands on, because we don't want all those firms coming in from Tampa and Orlando. We'd like to be able to make sure that the local economy benefits from this work. And so the airport has a mandatory aspiration. The Housing Authority has one. They're going to be spending another $335 million on programs to rehab Southwood Village and all redo Edison. Dan's part of that, Lee's part of that. So we just want everyone to be as ready as possible. And Clarence from the SBDC is here to help people get certified and whatnot. But we need to make sure that you're ready to receive these funds, and that you're in line to get these funds. So we look forward to working with you on that. But the ARPA program is funds that we put aside to work with a group of technical advisors that we had mentioned, and they will take you through a sort of a quick boot camp to just look at your business plan and see what, if there are any deficits in your business. And if there are, and the deficit could be anything from back rent to need a new web page or a new marketing plan or an inventory control system, then we'll provide you somewhere between $5,000 and $20,000 as a grant. This is something that doesn't have to be repaid back. It's free and clear, as long as it's being used to invest in your business, and you have to make some sort of easy, promise that it's COVID related somehow. But we'll help you get through that. So we want as much of that money to go to the greater Dunbar community, the MLK corridor, as we can possibly get. And then we have other priority areas like Lee High Acres and North Fort Myers. But Dunbar is really the heart of this, and that's why Impact Partners is so essential to making this program succeed. So that's really all I want to say. We're happy to do it. If we have other funds, we'll make that available as we go by. But we want to get as much of this money into your hands as we can, and we want to help you strengthen your business and prepare you to get into that production line for the capital programs that are coming down as well. So the only limitation to this program, and Dan and Lee will talk to you a little bit more about it, is you've got to be in an eligible census tract. So it's a low moderate income census tract, but it's most of the city of Fort Myers, most of Lee High Acres, and most of North Fort Myers. So we'll make that determination. The technical assistance is for anybody, but the grants are for eligible census tracts.
Awesome. Thank you very much,
Okay,
Tom.
thanks.
If you don't know John Talmadge and what he's done with the EDO, he was also previously a part of the city of Fort Myers, and candidly has been activating around great idea makers and then empowering them into what they were really made to be, to have the best impact that they can have. So thank you very much, John and Tatum. A little background on myself. I'm Dan Alversky. I am not a minority business owner because I'm not a minority business person. I know that I have been born with incredible privilege, and a lot of it comes from nothing that I've ever done. It wasn't out of the great, incredible brain that I have, or anything other than I'm a white guy that had strong family and great opportunities laid before me. And so about 5 years ago, that became apparent to me. Sorry, it took me 35 years to catch that. But that became apparent to me through a variety of things associated to just getting to know my neighbors and knowing that my neighbors matter more than myself. If I have two creeds, Lee and I share this common ground is I'm called to love the Lord my God with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love my neighbor as myself. And then I never saw my mentor Jesus go and call his neighbor the wealthy king. It was always somebody else who was coming from a place of disinvestment or challenge. And so we have a community, we have a neighborhood, we have a whole county that is quite divided, and embarrassingly, from my perspective, it seems substantially divided by race. And I don't understand that, but I have seen the roots of it. And my opinion is one of the elements of our requirement is redevelopment, redistribution, and reconciliation. So elements of how do you bring all of those things together. I work hard, I don't think I'm lazy, but the amount of resources that I have access to are different than others. My mom's in the back. She's a phenomenal mentor, friend to a lot of people, including myself. Tatum, I have a network of humans that I can call on and partners. One of my partners is Ron Matthews. He is an innovative thinker. He used to like being able to say he's the only person with a mohawk that I partnered with. That's no longer the case. For example, he went around and told some really incredible stories for a long time, and my response was, I want to see it happen. And he activated a really challenging property and project, and I said I would match his investment. And so he orchestrated a phenomenal development. We're partners now in Lakeview, development down here on Veronica Shoemaker and Edison. We're finalizing our engineering agreements right now to make a determination of our next steps. And we'll be building affordable housing, workforce housing, and Ron will be doing a combination of social services and property management around that, as well as owning this really incredible development that we look forward to building here in Fort Myers. My background was a pastor's kid. Fort Myers moved from Michigan to Florida in 2003, and I had a degree from the University of Michigan in economics, which meant absolutely nothing. Like, it didn't mean a lick. I got my real estate license and started to apply that, and have had an incredible privilege of participating in a lot of different real estate transactions and activating. When we moved to Fort Myers, we started investing in property specifically in the Dunbar community, pre-census tract targeted area that we believe has received the most disinvestment in the market, and are excited to now be touching about 1,000 new units that will come on board over the next 36 to 48 months, including hopefully a grocery store that we can bring into the heart of Dunbar, Edison, and Ford, where the Southward Village is going to do a redevelopment of 375 units there. Much like Lee said, there are aspirational requirements from the county and from the city of Fort Myers and most cities when it comes to MBE and DBE. The embarrassing element is the outcomes of aspirational outcomes without performance requirements mostly means that I have to invite you here and pretend like I listened to you. And then the outcome doesn't have to mean that I hired you. And so I'm just being extremely transparent about the reality of that. And some of the challenges is as a business owner and developer, if I put two people next to each other and one can put forward a full pro forma, a full cost breakdown, and has this incredible background of doing business against somebody else who doesn't, it can be really challenging to make a decision to go with somebody who doesn't. So from a core perspective, one of my primary goals is to develop a stronger MBE and DBEs so there's not that massive difference. In my opinion, the strongest thing that we can do is have MBE, DBE partners who are better than the rest, so that there isn't a question, there's an active pursuit. And so from my opinion, there's no reason with resources, time, information, access to technical assistance, that everybody in this room can't fight on the same level as their competitors. right? So that's one of our primary goals with Southwest Florida Impact Partners. We've got a couple different creeds. We're partnered with the CRA, have been for the last 3.5 years. We have really two significant goals. One is we want to bring capital into the Dunbar community. Again, 3 census tracts, kind of Billy's Creek, south to Canal, over to Veronica Shoemaker, over to Fowler. That's kind of our core market that we're targeting. For all of you who do not have a business in those 3 census tracts or one of the census tracts that's qualified, that doesn't automatically make it so that we can't engage you. It does unfortunately have a limitation to the grant money. But we want to help and assist with understanding how do you access liquidity, how do you access money as a whole. And so knowing bankers, knowing attorneys, knowing other forms of technical assistance, like how do I get certified? We have the Collaboratory does a lot of small business certifications around what can you do to get learning and education in a new category so that when I go before you and say, hey, I'm certified in this, it means something. It's not just a sticker, but it's also something that gives you education and an informed position. So those are the kind of goals that we have is bring capital, elevate small businesses. Like that is what we're pushing for at Southwest Florida Impact Partners. So Lee Ford, Dr. Anthony Jewett, myself, we have a partner that lives in Tanzania, Africa. If I say a whole continent, it keeps me safe. And then a partner that lives in the Northeast. And so we've got a variety of consultants and individuals that are tasked and have different backgrounds. And the kind of 2 big takeaways that we need is this is a meet and greet as much as anything. We wanted to feed you, attract you in. We wanted to let you know that there's money available, and we want you to get it. We look really good. There's about $4 million in money that we want to help get placed. The more money that gets placed, indirectly or directly through Southwest Florida Impact Partners' hands, the better our contract looks to Lee County. So you should know that our interests are actually fully aligned. That I don't get paid. I don't get paid extra. Our group doesn't get paid extra based on performance, but we believe in the same thing that we're speaking to you about. Is there are a lot of services that are ongoing. My parents taught me really early that compensation comes from credit and benefit to the other person giving the compensation, right? So when I earn it, money comes. Our opinion from Southwest Florida Impact Partners is when we bring a tremendous value to Lee County economic development and Lee County as a whole, they'll see continued value in our business, both on a consulting and assistance and education and a building up of our community. So it's our hope that our interest aligns with yours and you acknowledge that, and then we get to start to interact. And we want to increase the number of times that we can touch each other, learn from each other, talk with each other. And in a big way, I don't know what I don't know about your business, right? So Becky Guttery is my assistant in everything that I do. She, much like Lee, is one of my bosses. So she sent out an email. You're partially here because you received an email from her. There is a link to a form. We need that filled out. If you want any level of assistance from us, we didn't ask about your child's left eye color. We ask about where your business is. Tell us about elements of your business. We want to use that as a first form and first contact. There is the qualifier of where your business is registered has an impact on whether or not we can give you a grant. We're going to quickly move both parties to the top of the list of whatever we can to assist, right? So if you are in a qualified, low to moderate income census tract in Lee County, we're going to move you really quickly into how do we get money as fast as we can in your hands. Now, on 2 fronts, I don't know if you saw this, but buying a boat with this money is not a good idea, right? Like, these funds are intended for your business to grow your business, right? And so we want to help kind of craft and understand what could these funds be for, how are you going to use them, and then how are you going to replace them going forward. So that's just good business, right? Like if I give you $5,000 or $20,000 right now and you don't know how to get to the next $20,000, it's not really helpful. We just get you an expectation that can be really negative in the long term. So we have a team that's here. We don't necessarily have to use every minute of the time, but now I'd like to open it up. Any other direct points that you want to cover?
One.
Yes,
Only
sir.
one. There's one thing that's important, because I notice a lot of times when we talk about business, we always talk about contract construction. It's important that you know, anything that a government buys, purchases, or go into contract or buy, all of them qualify and is required to do the same thing as they do in construction. They have a goal, and if you sell paper clips, okay, as little paper clips, if the city of Fort Myers or John Tammy's office in the county buy paper clips, guess what? They need to find a minority business certified woman or minority or veteran that sells paper clips to help meet that goal, aspiration goal that the county has or the city has. Okay? So don't think if they do consulting work, they get engineers, architects. Like me, I was hired as a recreational programming consultant for the city of Naples, and I came over here doing that job. To run summer, to help advise and run summer camps for the kids. And programs, recreational programs for the parks. How many of you can do that? The point I'm trying to make is that, what I'm just saying, that is also a part of this discussion. It's not all about the $1 billion they got in construction of capital improvement projects. I know you all know about janitorial services. I know you know about lot mowing, all that kind of stuff. But everything that you think you do they hire barbers at the jail? Come in and cut hair?
Yep.
How many of you have usually salons that have barbers? There you go. You understand? Don't cut yourself out, because in these conversations we always talk about the big ticket items. Because it sounds good and it's attractive, and that's what everybody want to do. But I want you to know, if you do it, you need to look on the procurement list for the city and the county. And look for your stuff. Look for you. Okay? Yes, sir.
So what if your business and all the codes, everything you say to look for, it's not on there?
Then they
Like my business is unique where I'm the only one that does it in Lee County. And it's not on any codes or any procurement list or anything.
Okay. All right. So what have you done so far to promote your business?
What I've done?
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere from social media to commercials.
Okay, that's not where I was going. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. Listen. The county has a contract with, is it Waste Pro? Waste Pro.
I've done that. Larry Bird.
No, not just, yeah, I know, that's him, but that's not what I'm talking about. Lee County has a contract with Waste Pro. Lee County got dumpsters and trash cans all over the place. They may not like the way they smell. But who picking them up? Waste Pro. What Lee County gonna do? I got a certified minority service provider here that can go over there and clean those trash cans for you. We need for you to go have a conversation with them and see what we can work out. You have to work your way in, brother. You gotta find your way sometime. But it's all within reason and it's practical. And it makes sense. Okay? You see that man leaning on that wall over there? I don't know where Taylor went. Didn't I tell y'all Taylor will slip out of here? Just like the church. Sit by the pew at the door. Every day you look up, you go. But these people are the kind of people that you might want to get to help internet you with the right people in the county to have that discussion.
Okay.
But we also help you with that too, just in case. You come see us, we can help you work that way. Y'all got what I was trying to say? I just want to make sure you say that, because our conversations, it seems like we're always talking about construction and all that. You forget about all the rest of this stuff. There's a lot of money out there for a lot of folks to be able to make in this business.
And Lee, don't forget the SPC also here.
I was gonna do that. I'm gonna give you a chance, Clarence. As a matter of fact, Dan, I'm gonna bring Terrence, Nicole, Sarah. I know she wasn't expecting this, but I'm gonna bring Sarah up here And also, Ms. Phillips gonna stand next to me. Can you all come up?